Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, my name is Nat. Thank you all so much for joining me. Today, I'm super excited to share with you all the new Trap collection by Gourmande Girls. This collection launched on their website on September 5th, and I got mine from ifeelbeautiful.ca. Their launch was on September 8th, and my package came the very next day. This collection has one eyeshadow palette, 2 highlighters, and 17 lip products in 3 different formulas. 3 liquid lipsticks, 14 lip glosses, and the lip glosses have 3 different finishes. 6 are multi-chromes, 2 are duochromes, and 6 are super pigmented glosses. The description off their website says, "Unveil the roots of the monster that started it all. Before spooked, before haunted, before nightshade, there was trapped." Inspired by the alluring danger of the Venus flytrap, this full collection fuses horror and beauty into an unforgettable experience. The full collection retails for $513. I don't have the full collection. I got the eyeshadow palette, 1 highlighter, and 3 lippies. This is actually their PR box, and it retails for $148. This is what it looks like inside. So this is the eyeshadow palette. This is one of the highlighters. These are the 2 lippies, and this is the 3rd lippy. Let's open everything up and see what they look like. The highlighter I got is the shade Famished, and this is what it looks like. This one is pearl based, shifting to violet with gold shimmer. Let's swatch it and see what it looks like. Ooh, this is so pretty. The other highlighter is called Trapula, and it is described as an ethereal shift from soft lilac to glimmering mint. And the highlighters retail for $29 individually. The first lippy I got is in the pigmented lip gloss formula, and it retails for $26. This is the shade Persistence, and it's described as a nude. Can you guys see this packaging? It is so special. Look at that graphic. And of course it was custom designed for Gourmande Girls. It's just so cool. Let's open it up and see what it looks like. A nice nude. It's a bit on the warm side, I think. We'll try it on the lips later. Next, we have one of the multi-chrome lip glosses, and they retail for $31. This is the shade Chaos, and let's see what it looks like. Ooh, how cool. You guys see the shift? And the last one that I got is also a multi-chrome. I didn't pick up any of the liquid lipsticks, and those retail for $26, just like the pigmented glosses. I also didn't pick up one of the duochromes, which are $29. But this is in the shade Nevermore, and let's see what it looks like. Cool. So interesting, right? Chaos is described as a violet with fiery orange. It has a coral base with shifting gold, pink, purple, and molten orange reflex. Let's turn the lights down and maybe you can see the shift better. Nevermore is a gray. It has a black base with blue, pink, orange, and gold shifts. Can you guys see? And here we have the Trap palette. It has 14 shades, 9 buttery soft mattes, and 5 special shades. Some are duochromes and some are multi-chromes. And the description off the website says, "Take a step into the jaws of creation. Before spooked, before nightshade, there was trapped. The origin of something deeper, darker, and far more monstrous." This prequel unearths the roots of the tale where beauty and horror entwine. I'm so sorry, I don't own the Spooked palette or the Nightshade palette, so I can't show them to you guys in comparison. But let's get into some swatches. First up, we have Sundew. That's such a pretty, pretty pale yellow. Then we have Audrey Jr. Snatched. this shade is so interesting and pretty. Digested? And here are what my fingertips look like. Next we have Alive. So sparkly. Fly Away. A nice deep shade to darken things up with. It's almost like a charcoal gray. Savage. Ooh, this is a pretty shade. Feed Me. A nice bright kind of mint green. And here are my fingertips from those swatches. Now we have Venus. What a cool multi-chrome. All green. Bitten. Unhinged. And here are my fingertips. And the last two shades are Deadly and Trapped. And here are the shades of the Trapped palette. Let's do different lighting. I'm going to do 3 looks today. So for look number 1, let's start off with the shade Deadly and an EO1 from Singe Beauty. Let's start off in the inner third. Just patting down some pigment. I want to keep the intensity of this shade's pigment closest to my lash line. So I'm just using some patting motions, some dabbing motions. So I just want to map out the shape first and then we'll blend the edges later. So today is actually my husband and I's anniversary. We're going out for dinner later, I think. And then tomorrow we're actually going to an outdoor comedy festival, which we're both pretty excited for. Okay, I know this looks kind of crazy right now, but we're actually going to switch shades. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Trapped and an EO4 from Singe Beauty. And now we're going to start at the outer corner. Same thing, I'm just using dabbing motions to lay the pigment down. This is a super deep green, very interesting. Let's pull a tiny bit just over the Deadly shade. A gentle blend once we get to the brow bone area. Now I want to try and blend out this edge, so I'm just going to use a Shoto 00. I just dipped into some more of the Deadly shade. So just trying to fill the gap in here. And now I'm going to dip into the shade Feed Me and an EO6 from Singe Beauty. And we're just going to use this shade at the edge. And for those of you who know me, you know that I just started this eyeshadow look not in my usual order of how I normally apply my eyeshadows. Because, you know, I'm just encouraging myself to try different things. I'm not sure if I liked the way the EO6 was blending this out, so now I'm just going to go in with a clean Shoto 03. And now I'm going back in with some more of the Trapped pigment, because I think I want to bring this shade slightly over more, but on an angle. Let's lay down some shimmer and see what kind of adjustments we need to make. I'm going to use this super cool shade, the marbled one called Snatch. And when you swirl them together, you get kind of like a lavendery purpley shade. So let's pop this on the third of the eye. Moving towards the center. And then for the inner third, let's use the shade Bitten. Just popping it in the inner third. That's bright. And now I'm just going back in with a little bit more of the shade Snatched, so we can blend the two shimmers together. I'm just going back in with the Trap shade and an EO4 from Singe Beauty. And we're just gonna put this at the edge where the shimmer starts. And now going back in with the Deadly shade and my Shoto 00, just to add a tiny bit more of that pigment in the background. I'm not sure if I like that. I feel like it's too harsh or something. But I'm happy to be experimenting. Let's try a little bit more of the shade Snatched. Just let's see what it does if we add it to the edge. That's a bit better, right? I'm just taking a tiny bit more of the Feed Me shade. It's got quite a bit of white pigment in this shade. I just did the rest of this side of my face off camera, so let's finish up this eye look. I'm going to go in with the shade Trapped and the EO4 from Singe Beauty. Starting at the outer corner, let's just pat in some pigment along the lower lash line. And now I think I want to try a tiny bit of the shade Deadly with the Shoto 00 and pop that right in the inner third of the lower lash line. And then I'm going to use a tiny E29 from ColourPop with the shade Bitten. And we're just going to stick that the tear duct area. Now back to the Shoto 03 with a tiny bit of the Feed Me shade, just so we can blend out this bottom edge. I just did eyeliner and mascara off camera, and I even put a green eyeliner in my waterline. Let's show you with different lighting. For blush, I was thinking to use one of the shades from the Mermaid Magic palette. Let's try the shade Temptress and a BK Beauty 112. That's pretty. I think this goes with the look, the eye look. Now it's time for the highlighter. This again is in the shade Famished, and I'm going to go in with an F07 from Singe Beauty. Oh, that's pretty. Let's boop some on the tip of the nose. Can you guys see? It is the prettiest shade. I know I keep saying pretty. It really is pretty though. Let's show you with different lighting. I guess I'm just trying to find words to describe what it looks like, or what I feel like it looks like. I mean, for a highlighter, it does have kind of like bigger glitter particles in it, but I feel like it doesn't enhance my texture. It's just done so well. Like even with having a bit of a bigger glitter particle to it, it doesn't look chunky. It still creates such a nice soft highlight. I'm really happy with this highlighter. Like, it really makes me feel pretty. And now for lips, let's try the shade Chaos. I don't know if I own a multi-chrome lip gloss. Like, I know I have sparkly ones, I think, but an actual multi-chrome lip gloss? That's actually quite wearable. And flattering, don't you think? For those of you who know me, I usually freak out with color on my lips, but this I can handle. And I think it goes with the look. What do you guys think? Moving on to look number 2, let's start off with the shade All Green and an EO8 from Singe Beauty. Let's start at the outer corner, pat down some pigment. Actually, we had a Venus flytrap for a while. My mom gave it to my daughter, but I think we went away on vacation. This was a couple years ago. I think we went away on vacation and sadly it died. But I keep hearing that they're really hard to keep alive, and I'm actually terrible with plants. Like, I've killed many cacti, all the plants that are supposedly low maintenance. Like, I can't seem to keep plants alive. I have what they call a black thumb, I think. And then I'm gonna blend it up into the crease area. Using circular motions just as we approach the brow bone area. We're just trying to get this top edge nice and soft. And now let's dip into the shade Audrey Jr. and a discontinued MAC 242. It's just a flat shader brush. And we're going to put that in the inner third. Again, I'm just using patting motions. So I want this pigment to stay true to pan. And then a gentle blend as we get to the top edge. Let's just take a reference number 2 with nothing on it, just so we can soften this inner third edge. Now let's deepen things up with the shade Fly Away and a Shoto 00. We're just gonna pop this in the outer corner. My hope is just to intensify this green shade a little bit. Deepen up the outer corner without turning the entire look black or gray. Switching back to the EO8 with a little bit of the all green shade, let's just see what happens when we go over top. And kind of use this to blend everything together. Back to the Shoto 00 again with a little bit more of the Flyaway shade. And let's see what happens if we try and pull a tiny bit of it into the Audrey Jr. shade. Maybe it'll give an illusion of a crease for me. Yeah, I'm kind of into that. What do you guys think? Now for shimmer, let's do the shade Alive and just my finger. And we're going to pop this at the outer third. Ooh, that's bright and shiny. How cool is that? Now for the inner third, let's do the shade Venus. I guess it's not really just the inner third. So we're going to take, ooh, cool. You guys see that? So we're going to take this towards the center. Look at that. How fun. Back to the Alive shade, just so we can marry these two together. Switching back and forth. How cool is that? I know I already said that. I think I already said that, but look at that. I just did bronzer and set this side of my face off camera, so let's finish up this eye look. Let's go in with the shade Fly Away and an E26 from ColourPop. Starting at the outer corner, let's just push in some pigment. And pull it across the lower lash line. You know what I just realized I forgot to do? I forgot to put that shade at the outer corner where the shimmer starts. So hold on, let's go back in with the Shoto 00 and the shade Fly Away. And gently pat this at the edge. There, that's better, right? Okay, now back to the lower lash line. And let's take the Audrey Jr. shade, the inner third of the lower lash line. And I just dipped into the Venus shade with the same brush, so we can pop some right here. I just dipped into the all green shade with the 808 from Singe Beauty, just so we can soften out this bottom edge and complete the look. This brush is kind of fat for right in here, so I just pinched the edge. I just did eyeliner off camera, and I put the same green eyeliner in my waterline. But for mascara, I actually have a new mascara to share with you guys. My friend Shelley sent me a little package with things that she wanted me to try out, and I'm so grateful. I've already tried this mascara and it's fabulous. This is her current favorite mascara. So let's go ahead and show you guys. Sorry, it's the Sarah Creal Back of the Cab Mascara, and check out this wand. You guys see? This wand is so grippy. This mascara is smudge proof. Like I said, I've already tried it and it stayed on all day because normally I have to wear waterproof mascara, but this is a tubing mascara and it's just fantastic. I feel like it makes the lashes super fluttery looking. This wand grips onto the lashes so well that it really does coat everything evenly. But look at that. Look how pretty this is. It also washes off super easily. For blush, let's go in with the shade Neptune, again from the Mermaid Magic palette. Did I tell you what brush I'm using? I can't remember. I'm using an F05 from Singe Beauty. A nice soft lavender lilac kind of blush. And back again with the Famished highlighter and an F07 from Singe Beauty. I am in love with this highlighter. And for those of you who know me, I'm not really a highlighter type person, but this I'm into. Look at, that's so pretty. Sorry. I'm gonna encourage myself to learn some new adjectives. I wiped chaos off because now I want to try the shade Nevermore. How cool. How cool is this shade? And there we have it. Here are the final looks for look number 1. And 2. Let me come in close to show you guys. And different lighting. I actually love these two looks way more than I thought I would. Even with this dark Nevermore lip gloss, I'm loving all of it. And I'm not gonna lie, with my shirt and my eye looks that I created today, it's giving a little bit of Beetlejuice vibes, which Beetlejuice actually used to be my favorite movie when I was a kid. So maybe that's why I'm super into these looks. And I know I've told you guys in the past that I normally wear my 2 different eyeshadow looks out, but like I said, today is our anniversary and we're going out for dinner later. And I really wanted to complete this video today so that we can hurry up and get it edited and up for you guys. So I'm sad to say I'm gonna go wash all of this off and I'll see you in a second for look number 3. Before we get into look number 3, in case any of you guys were wondering, I'm wearing the HAUS Labs foundation in the shade 200 Light Medium Neutral. And later when I do concealer, I'll also be using the HAUS Labs concealer, and this is in the shade 21 Light Medium Neutral. For look number 3, let's start with the shade Digested and a Refer 01. We're just gonna start at the outer corner, lay down some pigment. This is an interesting purple. It's kind of either muted, desaturated, or it's got a bit of a gray to it. It's very pretty though. Nice and cool toned. Then we're just going to blend it up into the crease area. And same thing on the other side. So for our dinner tonight, I actually opted for something not super fancy. I told my husband that I was in the mood for Chinese food. I've been craving bitter melon. Bitter melon is an acquired taste. Not everybody likes it because it's bitter, but I really like it. And I keep getting told by my dad that no Chinese person born in Canada likes bitter melon, but I do. I've always loved it. Because the actual celebration that we're having is tomorrow. Like I said, we're going to an outdoor comedy festival. Did I say that already? I can't remember. And then tomorrow we're actually going to an outdoor comedy festival, which we're both pretty excited for. Anyway, that's what we're doing tomorrow. It's an all-day event down at our Stanley Park. Sucks though, I think it's going to rain tomorrow. But we'll just bring umbrellas. I don't think it's going to rain for the whole day. But in the afternoon, it's the Trailer Park Boys. When I first met my husband, he was super into that show, and I'd never seen it. So I guess when we were dating, that's when he encouraged me to binge watch with him the Trailer Park Boys TV show. It's humorous, pretty trashy. Now let's go in with the shade Sundew and a Refer 21. Let's just start in the inner third. At first I wasn't sure how much of this Sundew shade I wanted showing. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out as we go. But I have to be careful again. Purple and yellow, complementary colors, meaning in hair terms, they cancel each other out. So if you mix them together, they're just going to turn muddy, possibly. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. The evening portion of the show that we're going to is Kill Tony. I think this is how I wanted it. Just a little bit of the yellow in the inner third towards the inner corner area. And same thing on this side. Let's start in the inner third. And again, I'm mainly using patting motions because this is a super light yellow and it could potentially blend into nothing. Not because of the formula, because of the shade. I don't know if I've ever used a shade like this on my eyes. I quite like it. Oh, and if any of you guys are wondering, we are celebrating our 19th wedding anniversary. But we've been together for 20 years. Let's deepen things up with the shade Savage and a slightly dirty Shoto 00. Starting in the outer corner, let's pat down some pigment. Is it just me, or does this Sundew shade look a little bit like it has a little bit of a green tint to it? I wonder if that's just on my skin tone, but it's pretty. Now we're gently blending the Savage shade up into the crease area, near the brow bone. My brow bone anyway. Same thing on this side. And blending it into the crease area. Now I'm just going back in with the shade Digested and a Shoto 03. Just want to soften out the top edge. Same thing over here. For shimmer, let's use the last shimmer that's in the palette. It is the shade Unhinged, this one. And I'm just going to go in with my finger. I'm pretty much going to put this one all over the lid. This shimmer is looking a little bronzy. I think my husband will be happy because he told me this morning that the thing you're supposed to give at the 19th wedding anniversary is bronze. So here husband, here's some bronze eyeshadow shimmer. I just switched to my index finger because it's a little smaller than my middle finger. That's kind of interesting, right? I'm just taking the Refer 21 to see if we can smooth out this inner part. I just dipped into some more of the Sundew shade. And now unhinged on this side. And again, switching to my index finger. Refer 21 to soften this corner. Back to the Shoto 00 with the shade Savage, just to pat down some matte pigment at the edge of where the shimmer starts. Same thing on this side. I just did concealer, bronzer, and set my face off camera. So let's finish up this eye look. I'm going to go in with the shade Savage and a ColourPop E26. Let's start at the outer corner and push in some product. Same thing on the other side. And now let's take the Refer 21 with the shade Sundew, and let's pop that in the inner third. Connect it a little bit. Same thing on this side. And now let's take the Shoto 03 with the shade Digested, just to soften out the bottom edge. And same thing on this side. I felt like something was missing, so I'm actually just deepening up the outer corner even more with that Flyaway shade, that kind of charcoal gray. I think I like that better. What do you guys think? Yes. Let's do the same thing on this side. Let's dab some of that Flyaway shade in the crack of my eyes. I just did liquid eyeliner off camera and I put on a pair of falsies. I used the Kiss My Lash But Better in the Bare Affair. Now let's do some blush. I'm going to use the shade Seashell from the Mermaid Magic palette and an A507 from BK Beauty. Let's throw the Famished highlighter on again. That's so pretty. And same thing, let's boop some on the tip of my nose. And why not? Let's do a little bit right here. And let's go crazy. For me. Let's put some right in the inner corner. I don't normally do this, as most of you know. But like I said, today's a special occasion, so why not? Okay, the last lippy that I have is the shade Persistent, and this is the Nude Gloss. This formula feels so nice on the lips. I like this color, but I don't know if I like it with the rest of the look. What do you guys think? Why don't we put some chaos on top and see what that looks like? That's kind of interesting, right? Okay, so there we have it. Here is the final look for look number 3. Let me come in close so you guys can see. And different lighting. Oh, and this lighting with the highlighter. As always, let me know if you guys have a favorite. You guys already know that I love the Gourmande Girls formula and I'm a super fan. I'm happy to try out their lip formulas. Super comfortable, very fun shades, but I have to say I think my favorite thing is this highlighter. I really like it. I love it. I'm also happy that my third look still kept the Beetlejuice vibe going. And I think the Trap palette has such a fun color story. I can't wait to try out even more different looks with the palette. And now we've come to the end of this video. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your day to hang out with me. I truly hope that all of you are doing amazing, and I gotta run now. It's dinner time. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Ha ha ha!